And here they are, after a broken tackle, knocking on the door.
And Kyren Williams to the goal line and in for the touchdown. What a drive for the Los Angeles Rams as they march the length of the field in 16 plays to take a 6-3 lead.
Matthew Stafford almost misses this handoff. Watch, you're going to see the motion go by. Watch how far he has to extend at the last second. Either the back's a little too wide, which is my guess.
Second and goal at the 7. Williams slithering inside, and Kyren Williams with his second touchdown of the day, and the Rams have tied it up.
And look at that cut. Extending to the goal line. I think the ball's across. I gave him a first down, which would have been a huge negative play for the Rams. Turns into a positive.
First and goal from the 6. Stafford, Williams, blockers in front, the cutback, and the touchdown. Running back with a receiving touchdown at all last year.
Here comes the little screen. You're going to see the lineman leak out. You're going to have full routes on this side, and Stafford's eyes did everything and held everybody. Got great. Greenlaw to creep a little bit.
Higbee in motion on 3rd and 1. Williams towards the goal line, pushing through for the touchdown.
Well, here comes another little quick hitter. They're going to get Higbee inside and a quick hitter inside for the halfback. They got to get somebody on Fred Warner, and they block him just by a little misdirection. You see Kyren Williams vacates those voids.
Here comes the pressure, sets up the screen to Williams, makes a nice move. Kyren Williams down to the 30-yard line.
That's Atwell in motion. Stafford flips it back this way for Kyren Williams, who gets a block. Williams makes a man miss and weaves down inside the Bengals 40 before Logan Wilson got him down. Nice play.
Using that big body to get space for Matthew Stafford.
On 1st and goal, Williams takes it in for a Rams touchdown. 5th score of the season for Kyren Williams.
Nice job by the Rams offense. Very methodical, very efficient. And Kyren Williams, he sees the hole. I love that he never.
1st and goal from the 3. Handoff, Williams, and he is in for his 2nd touchdown today.
Kenny, this really looked like practice, as if the Colts defensive front was tired. Just watch as Kyren Williams gets the ball. He's able to kind of just dance in there. You don't see any real action. That's real good company. Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk.
5 rushing touchdowns, first 4 games. Here's Williams inside the 40. First down and a lot more. Forced out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Stafford backpedals, dumps it off. It's Williams. Tackled by Moore at the 40. 2nd down and 8. Stafford looking. Stafford then dumps it off. First down in Colts territory. Williams takes it down to the 40-yard line.
Off to a good start today. They'll run it to Kyren Williams for the first time, and that's a short game. Gets across the 40, and that's the thing. It's a pretty good group. Yeah, Eagles come with a blitz. They set up a screen to Williams, gets a block, and another. Kyren Williams upended, though, by Reed Blankenship. That could have gone for a long way, but he makes the tackle short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and short.
Two of the better teams in the entire league, regardless of conference. Looking forward to that one for sure.
3rd and 10, just going to hand it off.
All right, thanks, Shannon. Nakua goes in motion on first down, only the 4th run of the day for the Rams. And it's Kyren Williams with the best run of the day for the Rams. A first down, a gain of 16.
Game, get some good production out of it to start the second half.
2nd down and 3, 3rd straight run, another first down and more for Williams. I guess McVay was listening to you. Atwell in motion on the toss. Williams from the Cardinals 42. Williams first down, still going. Kyren Williams finally tackled at the 11-yard line.
If there is ever a moment when you want a team to finish and you say, show me how you finish a play, how you finish a half, how you finish a game.
Cup with the only touchdown of this game so far. 2nd down and 5 on the toss. It's Williams. Williams inside the 20. Doesn't look like anything's wrong.
Tyler Higbee, as he goes in motion, watch the block he sets on the edge. Bam, he sets that block on the edge. That allows Kyren Williams to... Arizona is you're light at the linebacker position, and they've been getting a lot of production there.
2nd and goal, Williams inside the 5. To the goal line. Stop short.
Clear control when he breaks the plane with the football, and then it wasn't until afterwards that the ball gets knocked out, and so the one official looked at it.
Kyren Williams straight ahead with plenty of room. No problem inside the 15 and a 1st down for the Rams. Became a dad for the first time in October. They set up the screen to Williams, who's got blockers in front. Slips through. Kyren Williams all the way down to the 30 of the Cardinals. Well designed, well executed by Sean McVay and the Rams. Cup with an adjustment to the bottom of your screen. The other way, it is a screen to Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams gets a block. He's in the end zone, and that's a Ram touchdown. And a leap with Ram fans who made the trip to Glendale, Arizona.
You're going to see a blitz from Thompson here. And they're going to throw right into that blitz with the screen. Nobody there. All kinds of blocking in front.
Stafford, by the way, a season high 3 touchdown passes in this first half. Williams with a big hole. Kyren Williams still going. Across midfield and out of bounds. After a 47-yard punt from the Ram 22, Kyren Williams adding to his rush total. And there he goes! Williams! All the way down to the 22-yard line of Arizona, and Jalen Thompson saved a touchdown.
You see Havenstein, he's going to crash down. But it's just going to be the cutback ability of Kyren Williams right there, right up the middle. Jalen Thompson gets a little bit deep in there, takes a bad angle, not in position to make the play in the hole. And you can see Kyren Williams.
In that tight finish at the end to beat Seattle. Stafford wants to throw. Floats it. Touchdown Rams! Kyren Williams. He's got another one. 2 today. 9 for the year, and this is 7th game.
And Kyren Williams, he's going to take this path all the way across the field, and Woods, the linebacker, just doesn't have an opportunity to get over there.
They'd love to get Denzel Ward back next week with Trevor Lawrence on the other side of the football. 2nd and 8. Stafford looking, floats out to the left, checks it short. Kyren Williams across the 30 and 2 yards short of the 1st down. And now a little pace. So Puka Nacua back in the game. Over 100 yards receiving. Cup in motion, and on 1st down, a toss play to Kyren Williams will cut it upfield. Williams across the 30 and rumbles down to the 35-yard line. 2nd and 7. Atwell in motion. Browns rush 4. Check to Williams, and Williams up the sideline, out of bounds across the 40. A critical turnover gave the Rams a chance to get a touchdown, and now Kyren Williams into the end zone for his 7th rushing touchdown of the season, and a capper to the Rams' 3rd straight win.
And Puka Nacua, normally a steady blocker, throws a no-hitter. Shout out Nolan Ryan. Watch, he didn't touch anybody. Kyren Williams has to be his own blocker on the goal line, and that's what it takes down near pay dirt.
Stafford, sidearm throw, one-hand catch. Kyren Williams popped by Smith. 4th and short. Williams again. Boy, stop and start and exploded. He almost went off to the races.
Cooper Kupp in motion. Big week last week for Kupp. They hand it off to Williams. Williams trying to get to the edge to the right. Oh, he makes a man miss to his left. He's inside Commander's territory, and he shuttles out of bounds at the 32. Cody Barton eventually makes the tackle.
We get inundated with stats and 40 times, and sometimes it's the eyeball test. And when I watch Kyren Williams run, the thing that he does is what he just did there.
Davis Allen in motion. They give it to Williams. Williams nose to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown Rams.
You see two double teams inside, and Kyren Williams, I'll run right behind that. A good, powerful run to get in the end zone.
Higbee in motion. Williams gets the handoff. Williams. A cut to his left. Hudson eventually made the tackle close to midfield. First play, they give it to Williams, and Williams going left, cuts back right, and he's up across the 35, moving the pile as Butler makes the tackle. It's a first down run. Nakua in motion to Williams, and Williams dives forward. He's got the 2-point conversion. 28-7 Rams. They go to Williams, right up the middle, and Williams lowers his shoulder inside the 30-yard line.
Let that ball out of his hands.
Absolutely. Second down and 6. Look at Williams. Second and 3. Again. Touchdown. And almost on cue, flips it to Mama. How cool is that?
Watch the linebackers react to Cooper Kupp. That frees up the lineman to be able to get up to that second level.
First and goal from the 4. Nakua in motion. Here's Williams up the middle, plowing towards the goal line. Touchdown Rams. His 10th rushing touchdown of the year. And Los Angeles takes the 6-0 lead by that Rams offensive line. Stafford to Williams, trying to find blockers. He's got him. Williams picking his way through traffic. And Williams gets 9.
Tried to strip the football.
And now the handoff to Kyren Williams, and he's got a touchdown.
An inside handoff to the right, and they got the double teams across the board. That was easy money.
Nakua in motion. The handoff. Williams, burst of speed into the secondary. He's gone for a Rams touchdown. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the day.
Well, this is just, once again, the stretch and then cut. You're going to see Puka Nakua take 2 defenders. You're going to see Cooper Kupp on the edge on 28 flat right there, and then Tutu Atwell. Look at these guys blocking downfield. That's scoring block.
From the 25, Kyren Williams. Good, tough inside run. So much motion for the Rams. Stafford climbs the pocket, checks it down to Kyren Williams, who has space and gains about 9 yards against this Detroit defense.
Potential free play if you want to take a shot here. 2nd and 1.
The hand to Williams, who bounce it to the left and get a first down. The 16, Kyren Williams runs right. Just around the 12-yard line there. Ben Skoranek and Brian Branch keep going, and there is a flag thrown late here. Inside run, and it's a gain of about 5.5 for Williams. See if either coach is going to call a timeout here.
If they can just keep the ball in front of them, they probably would have had a big lead here.
Big opening for Kyren Williams, closes quickly. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, 1st and 10 from the 10. Kyren Williams, good move to find that space inside and drive forward to the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 15 for Williams. Ben Skoranek, willing to do some dirty work, is in there at receiver. Kyren Williams busted through the arm tackle of Kaminsky. A lot of inexperience making playoff debuts here tonight. And doing well in this atmosphere. Williams left, Nice patient job, like Chris was talking about, to get through the hole and get the first down.